If you get the basics right when it comes to personal finance, you can absolutely change your life. In fact, the basics are the most important thing that makes the most significant impact when it comes to your money. And today, I'm going to talk about the 11 personal finance lessons that when I learned these lessons, it absolutely changed my life. Number one is to prioritize savings and investments. Warren Buffett always has talked about this. Pay yourself first, then spend what is left over. This is one of the most important things that you can learn early on in your personal finance journey, because what you want to do is every time you get paid, you save a portion of that paycheck and then you spend what is left over. Now, what do you do if you're living paycheck to paycheck and you don't have any extra money yet? What you want to do is look towards two things, either decreasing your expenses or increasing your income. And by doing one of those two things, you can grow the gap between your income and expenses so that you can save your money first. Now, the key to this is automation, meaning automating your money. And we talk about money automation a lot on this channel and on our podcast, the Personal Finance Podcast. And the reason why we talk about it so much is because money automation removes your willpower from the equation. And you absolutely need to remove that willpower in order to be successful with money, because we know we are not the best with money if you just have to rely on us going into our brokerage account and trying to transfer money every single month. Instead, just automatically transfer your savings every month. So if you want to save money in your emergency fund in your high yield savings account, just automatically transfer that money every time you get paid so that the money is there when you need it. If you want to invest your dollars every single month, just automatically transfer the money into your brokerage account or your Roth IRA or your 401k every time you get paid so that the money is there and you can invest those dollars. This is the power of investing your money, because consistency over time is how you win with money. Number two is create a spending plan and or create a budget. Now, a budget and a spending plan are exactly the same thing. The only difference is people hate the word budget and they are more prone to listening to someone who says create a spending plan. Now, let me tell you why a budget creates freedom for your life instead of restriction. See, what happens for most people is that they live paycheck to paycheck even if they make a lot of money. Folks who make a lot of money have what is called lifestyle inflation that has kicked in, and what's happening is they are spending the exact amount of money that they make. Here's why a budget is freeing, because you can actually spend your dollars on the things that you value most. So if you love to play golf, you can allocate more dollars towards playing golf. If you love yoga, you can allocate more dollars towards yoga. If you love going on vacations with your family and your friends, you can allocate more dollars to vacations with family and friends, because what you are doing is cutting back on the spending in areas you don't care about whatsoever and increasing the amount on areas that you do care about. So if you care about financial freedom, then you're allocating more dollars towards your investments. Budgets are freedom, and you have to change your mindset when it comes to tracking your spending. Now, do you absolutely need a budget? No, we actually talk about something called a reverse budget. And inside of that reverse budget, what you do is you save off the top, then you spend what is left over. And what this allows you to do is not have a line by line item budget, but instead you're still making your savings rate and then you're spending what is left over. So if you absolutely hate the budget, this is a way to go. Number three is establishing a financial protection plan and or an emergency fund. Now, what you want to do is have a full bulletproof financial protection plan. And we have a podcast episode on the Personal Finance Podcast talking about how to do that. But if you've never heard of an emergency fund, or you've just never started one and you have heard of one, here's exactly how it works. What an emergency fund does is it protects you against life. Guess what? Things are going to happen in life. Your car is going to break down. Your house is going to have issues. You're going to have to go to the doctor. Maybe your pet will have a medical emergency. All of these different things happen in life. It's not if they're going to happen, it is when are they going to happen. So making sure that you have cash set aside to protect your finances from these things happening so it's not a disaster to your finances is what an emergency fund is. It reduces your stress, it reduces your anxiety, and allows you to live your life without fear of the unknown. So what the emergency fund is there for is to protect you against job loss and all these other unexpected things. So the first thing you want to do is, if you want to set up an emergency fund, you want to put it into a high yield savings account. The only reason why you put it in a high yield savings account is get a little more interest inside of a high yield savings account instead of at your local bank. So at the time of recording this, interest rates are right around 4% in a high yield savings account. Sometimes they're all the way down to 1 to 2%. It depends on where interest rates are. And you want to take advantage of that higher interest rate, so you want to put it in that high yield savings account. Now, you do not want to invest these dollars. Why? Because if there's a recession, that's the time time you're going to need this money most. And if your investments get cut in half and you lose your job, all of a sudden you have a 3-month emergency fund instead of a 6-month emergency fund. So making sure you do not invest these dollars and instead take these dollars and put them in a safe place, especially if you need them within a year or two, is one of the most important things. Now, how much emergency fund do you need? If you can get a job very, very quickly, 3 months is fine. Maybe you're in the tech world and you can get a job very quickly if you lost your job. If it's going to take you longer to get a job, then go for 6 months. And if you have no idea how long it would take you to get a job, go for at least 6 months. I am very pro on the high end when it comes to your emergency fund. Yes, I know inflation eats away at your buying power. Yes, I understand that, but cash is security. So making sure that you do this is one of the most important things and one of the most powerful things that you can do with your finance, especially to protect your money. Number 4 is to invest in a strategic way, meaning continuously educating yourself when it comes to investments. So there are so many different ways to invest. You hear people all day long talking on YouTube Shorts or TikTok or Instagram telling you all these different crazy ways to invest. What I want you to do is do this strategically. So do your research and understand the best ways to invest for your personal personality. Do you want to replace your job and your income within the next couple of years? Then maybe getting cash flow in real estate is one awesome way to do that. Do you want to work for a little longer and you also want to make sure that your retirement is secure? Then maybe looking at stocks, index funds, ETFs, those types of things would be amazing for your portfolio. But you got to do your research and figure out, what do I want to invest in? What am I interested in? And if I'm not interested in investing, index funds and ETFs are some of the best passive ways to invest your dollars. So for me, let me give you the breakdown on how I like to invest my dollars and what I'm looking at here in the near future as well. So number one, first thing I always do is maxing out my Roth IRA, Roth 401k, whatever one you have available to you is the number one thing. In addition, when I was in the corporate world, I always made sure I got my employer match as well. Then after that, we go on to the 401ks, IRAs, those types of things. Then taxable brokerage. Once you have those set up, situated, and you're contributing the amount that you want, then you can move on to some additional wealth builders, things like real estate, things like buying cash flowing businesses. If you didn't know, one way to invest is you can buy existing businesses, cash flowing businesses, and have cash flow day one. So these are just some of the amazing ways that you can invest your dollars, and doing your research, reading books, looking at different things to make sure that you understand how this stuff works so that you can make the best investment decision for your life. And if you have no idea what you want to do, start with index funds and ETFs. That's the most passive way to invest your dollars and the easiest way to build generational wealth long term. You can become a millionaire with just a couple $100 a month investing in index funds and ETFs if you understand how to do it. And we have a course called Index Fund Pro that teaches you exactly how to invest in index funds and ETFs. You can check it up down below. Number 5 is reduce or manage your debt. Now, this is very, very important for most people to understand because there are two types of debt. There is low interest debt, meaning anything below a 6% interest rate is what we consider here a low interest debt item. And anything above a 6% interest rate is high interest debt. You want to pay off that high interest debt first because that is what is eating into your wealth building ability. In fact, depending on what type of debt it is, compound interest is working against you instead of for you. So this is going to be things like your credit card debt. Maybe your student loan interest rate is really high. Maybe you have a personal loan that's really high. Looking towards these things first and getting rid of that debt is one of the most important things that you want to do. And you want to do this as soon as you possibly can. Now, once you get that paid off, then you can decide, do I want to pay off low interest debt or do I want to take these extra dollars and put them towards my investing? Because if you have a mortgage at a 3% interest rate and you can invest your dollars into an index fund at a long-term 8% interest rate, it is much better for you to take your dollars and put them towards those investments than it is to pay off that low long-term interest rate. If you have a mortgage or a business loan with a low interest rate, those are things that you have to decide for yourself. Do I want to be completely debt-free or do I want to make sure that I'm maximizing these dollars at the highest level I possibly can? Number 6 is continuing your financial education and learning how to create a financial education plan. So there's a bunch of different ways to increase the amount of money that you can make. And one way is to invest in yourself. And financial education is one of the best ways to do that. So watching YouTube videos and subscribing to YouTube channels just like this one, subscribe, then will help you progress by doing that. In addition, listening to podcasts like the Personal Finance Podcast is a great way to do that. Books are my favorite cheap way to do that if you're going to start to spend dollars on your financial education. I'll give you 3 quick books right now. The Millionaire Next Door, The Simple Path to Wealth, and I Will Teach You to Be Rich will change your life if you read those 3 books. Additional courses that are going to help you make more money. All of these are incredibly powerful ways that you can invest in yourself, which is one of the best investments that you can can make so that you can increase your income. Why? Because your income is the growth accelerator when it comes to your personal finances, because the higher your income is, the more dollars that you can invest, the more dollars you can put towards wealth building activities so that you can get to that next level with your personal finances. So create a financial education list and make sure you're continuing that financial education so you can get to the next level with your personal finances and truly grow your wealth. Number 7, and this is a very hard lesson to learn, especially if you are young, but it's to be patient and be resilient. So once you have an investment plan in place, the key to making that investment plan work is to make sure that you are patient. Wealth builders are patient. Let me give you a great example of this. Warren Buffett, the greatest investor of all time, built his wealth over the course of the last 80 years or so. And he has over $100 billion that he has invested. 99% of his wealth came after the age of 60. Why? Because he was patient and consistently followed his investment plan. And what happens is over time, compound interest starts to truly grow, and that snowball grows larger and larger and larger until it grows so large that you don't have to work anymore. And the more dollars that you can allocate towards your investments and you stay patient with your investment plan, no matter what's going on in the world, it will absolutely change your life. If the market is down, just keep buying. If the market is up, just keep buying. If the market is flat, just keep buying. If the media is spreading fear, just keep buying. Because sticking to your investment plan and continuing to buy is how wealth is built. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, how do I stay motivated to stay consistent when it comes to building wealth? The best way to do that is to go back to what we were just talking about, which is financial education. Listening to podcasts, watching YouTube videos, learning all of these different things are going to help you stay motivated when it comes to building wealth. Number 8 is take calculated financial risks. Now, let me give you an example of what I mean by that. When I worked in the corporate world, I had a very stable job in an industry that was recession-proof. I was a financial analyst in a very large healthcare company that will never go away no matter what happens to the country. But I took a risk. I left that stable job, that good income, and I left and started a real estate company. And when I started the real estate company, we were buying rental properties, renting them out, and earning cash flow to grow that company. This is a much more risky endeavor to go on your own and take this calculated financial risk than it would be to stay in that stable job, most people think. But I calculated out what it would take to actually get to the point that I needed in order to take this financial risk. So I beefed up my emergency fund. I did a bunch of other additional things so that I could take this financial risk, and it absolutely changed my life by doing so. So taking calculated financial risks, maybe it's a business endeavor. Maybe it's just investing in something brand new that you've never done before. Maybe it's just buying your first index fund or ETF and you're scared about it. Taking that simple financial risk so that you can understand that with a little bit of risk, there is reward. With a lot of risk, there is much less reward because the failure rate is much higher. But learning how to navigate these risks and have internal risk management can change the way you handle your personal finances. Buying businesses, buying real estate, investing your dollars is the most powerful way to grow your wealth, but it does have risk associated with it. So managing that risk and learning how to manage your emotions is very powerful. Number 9 is to give back some of your wealth. So what most people do is they hoard all this cash and they keep it all for themselves. What we talk about here at Master Money is we want you to give back your wealth as well. What's the purpose of building all this wealth if you can't help others? And so what we want to do is teach you how you can help others by building wealth. Imagine if every person in this world started to build wealth, learn about their personal finances, and they gave back to people in need. It would be a much better world by doing so. So learning how to give back, creating a spending plan so that you can give back is a powerful way to do this. One way that we do it is we create a line item in our budget for giving, and we give money back based on that line item in our budget. In addition, we also give a percentage of our income back to causes we believe in as well. So this is a powerful way to be able to do this and to help other people out. You can create a line item in your budget called Help Others Out, and it doesn't have to be a lot of money. It could be $10, $20, $30, $40, $50 a month. You put it into that budget category, and then over time, once you come across someone who actually needs help with their money or needs help with their financial situation, you can help them out by allocating those dollars to there. It helps you feel better, reduces your stress and anxiety, and really helps your mental health as well. So giving back is a very powerful way to be able to continue building wealth. Now, number 10 is to learn how to create a will or create an estate plan. So I believe every person in this world should have a will. And the reason for that is wills can be free all the way up to really, really cheap at a place called trustandwill.com, for example. example, where all it is a document stating where your assets need to go. And by creating a will, this makes sure that everything that you have, every possession you own, your children, in addition to your children or your pets, are going to go to the people that you want them to go to without a massive headache. So making sure that you create a will and have that available is a very powerful thing. In addition, in all your investment accounts, making sure that you assign beneficiaries in those investment accounts so that those accounts go to the people that you want them to go to is another form of estate planning. It's a very simple process where you log into your brokerage account, just click beneficiaries, and then select the beneficiaries you want that money to go to if anything would ever happen to you. Just creating a simple estate plan like this is going to change the security of your investments for the long run. Now, if you have over $1 million net worth, then looking into trusts and other things are a powerful way to have estate planning set up. And then number 11 is to follow the stairway to wealth. I created the stairway to wealth because once I followed this system, it absolutely changed my personal finances for the better. So the stairway to wealth is a way for you to figure out what order do I do all of these things in. So we created the order of operations for you to figure out how you can actually allocate your dollars and learn how to build wealth in the right order. So you can check out the stairway to wealth down below. It's a free PDF printable that you can take advantage of, or we have podcast episodes and we have a YouTube video on it as well. So we will link that up here somewhere. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We want to create as much value for you with your finances as we possibly can. And we will see you on the next video.